Hello, everyone out there. Woo, almost dropped my camera. I hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to share really quick today some holiday plants that everyone is familiar with and show you absolutely the beautiful blooms and just talk a little bit about the Schlumberger or Christmas cactus and the poinsettia, which I will get to out there. And another holiday favorite called amaryillis. And actually, it's funny because the amaryillis doesn't have to be a holiday plant. But let's talk first about Christmas cactus, Thanksgiving cactus. They are one in the same. I see a lot of information out there about some cactuses are Thanksgiving, some cactuses are Christmas, but they really are the same plant. They bloom anywhere from November to January, which is why sometimes they're called Thanksgiving or Christmas cactus. There's another type of cactus out there, and that's called an Easter cactus. And you can tell the difference not only by when it blooms, but the ends of the stem tips are different. And it's interesting because I wanted to make sure that what knowledge I had was correct. And Wikipedia said that a Thanksgiving cactus has pointy ends and a Christmas cactus has round ends. And that's not true. So let me zoom in really close to one that does not have any blooms. And so I can show you. The Thanksgiving Christmas cactus has like this lobster claw type end, okay? And that is where the bud forms, okay? Whereas an Easter cactus will have a very rounded stem tip. I do not have one, and I am going to be on the lookout for one in the near future. Hopefully my local Home Depot or Lowe's will sell it. Here's a real indicative, ooh, you can see how it's like pointy like a lobster claw. Yes, so typically these plants come in 3 colors that I've seen. This beautiful white with a pink that I have had for years. And then pink and also red. Now, here's the interesting thing. They know when to bloom based on our weather pattern. So, for example, when it starts getting cooler out and when the days become shorter and the nights become longer, it knows that it's going to go and start blooming. I'm having a difficult time talking today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Working a lot and the stress of the holidays. I don't know, just making my tongue tie today. But I live in a very temperate climate, and my cactuses, my Christmas, Thanksgiving cactus, whatever you want to call it, you can see mine is blooming more closer to Christmas, have been outdoors for over 10 years. I never moved them inside. We have gotten down below freezing, and they have done fine. I may have moved them closer to the wall of my home during those below freezing times, but when it's in the 40s at night, I never move these plants, ever. And they just bloom beautifully. As you can see, I have blooms everywhere. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's how it knows when it's time to start blooming, because they're getting more hours of darkness, less hours of sunlight. And the other thing is, this guy gets, it is about 12 o'clock. This gets all morning hours of sun, good 2.5 hours of sun in the morning, and then also gets late afternoon sun for about an hour or 2. So it gets 4 hours of good direct sunlight. Let me share with you the other one that I have. And this one is not looking as well because I transplanted some of my pink ones that I had in here. You can see I've mixed colors, and I don't know if the sunlight is helping me out here or not. I used to have a very large pot of these, and they're about 15 years old. You can see they're starting to get very withered and dried out. And after they bloom, I am going to cut a lot of this back. Literally, you can just twist it off. And in the spring, give it some new soil. Just give it a little boost. They are really a very easy plant to take care of. And as you can see, like I said, here is pieces of the beautiful pink one that I had. And I kind of combined the two. What a gorgeous color. Now, as far as propagating these, very easy. So I'll give you an example on one that I'm going to wind up redoing. You literally just, where you have like 2 stems, you literally just twist it off or pinch it with your fingernail. It's hard to do one-handed here. Okay, and you see, it's already got like a little piece of, it looked like little aerial roots. But just let this dry and stick them in soil just like you would with any other succulent, and let it root in dry soil. And that is how you can continue to propagate and make more of these cactuses. Now, I've heard people say, oh, you need to put them in, you need to grow them in your house. They won't bloom if you have them outdoors, or if they have too much sunlight, or they need more shade. That is not true. Like I said, they have an internal clock based on our weather and our climate and the days and night length. So unfortunately, actually, if you grow them in your house, you probably will not get blooms because it will be getting sunlight from your daytime sun, and then it's getting lights from your house, and it doesn't know, oh, hey, the nights are short, the nights are longer, I need to get ready to start blooming. So literally trying to grow them in your home is really not going to work unless you are going to be diligent about sticking them in a dark closet for 8 hours of darkness every night, and then remembering to pull them out. So my suggestion is to grow them outside, and when they start to bloom, if you want to bring them in to enjoy their beauty in your home, do that. But they love sunshine, and they regulate themselves based on our weather and day-night patterns. So that's a little bit about Schlumberger or Thanksgiving Christmas cactus. They're beautiful, easy to care. Treat them like a succulent. Water them when dry. Cut back on the watering when they are in bloom. I just recently picked myself up a small new red one because I've never had a red one. And it had a few buds on it. And one of them is getting ready to flower. Some of them are getting ready to flower. That one flowered. And we'll see how beautiful this guy is next year. They like to be root bound. They don't need to be in extremely large pots, so you can crowd all the pieces together and you'll be fine. Okay, amaryillis, we'll do real quickly. Very popular plant to buy. It's a bulb, and a lot of people buy them at the holiday time in beautiful reds or whites. This happens to be candystriped. You can plant them in a pot, let them bloom beautifully, and then let them continue to grow. Let their leaves grow. That will help bring all the energy into the bulb for next year's flower production. I have a couple of amaryllises in the front of my house that bloom every year for me. Early spring, I believe. I'll share that in the springtime. I let them bloom. I cut back the flower stalks and let the leaves grow all year round. And then shortly before the onset of winter, I'll cut the leaves back and let the bulb rest. I live in a temperate climate, so I leave those bulbs in the pot all year round. I'm not really sure about taking them out if you live in frost zones. Not really sure about that. The last one I want to share really quick is poinsettia. These are another beautiful holiday type plant. And I know a lot of us buy them in small pots at Christmas time, and we put them in our house, and we, I guess, discard them. A lot of people discard them after the holidays. Here in Central Florida where I am, or anywhere where it's a temperate climate, I plant them in the ground, and you can see how beautiful this has grown. And it also knows when to change its leaf color, because it's really not a flower, based on the length of days and nights and the cooler climates. So try it, you know, put your poinsettia in the ground off there. In the springtime, I will cut this way back and let it grow all year round, and trim it back a couple times during the growing season to let them get really nice and full and bushy. And of course, I give them a little bit of fertilizer. I'm a huge fan of Osmocote Slow Release 14-14-14, and you can see how beautiful and large this poinsettia is. Just absolutely gorgeous and big. I hope you can really get a view of the colors of this. It's probably about 60 degrees today. It's so pretty out. I've got another one that I was growing up front in a pot, and as far as watering, it requires water like any other plant, and then during its bloom time, if you want to call it that, you cut back on the watering. You can see how absolutely beautiful the colors of this one is. That really has got a lot of beautiful red flowers. I think the more shade it gets, no, this gets more sun. I'm sorry. This side gets more sun than the other side. You can see I have more red bracts on this plant. But then I could be wrong too, because this one's got a lot of green and bits of red. Just pretty. So pretty. And I had transplanted this from the pot up front because it got beaten down with sun, and I always forgot to water it, and it just was withering all the time. So I stuck it back here where I know it's going to get more rain. In the summertime, we get a lot of rain, and it really just feeds this plant beautifully. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's giving you an incentive to get yourself some of the Christmas, Thanksgiving cactuses, which you can see over here, and put your poinsettias in a pot or in your garden outside after the holidays. For those of you who watched my last video, you see it's next to the milkweed, and unfortunately, those chrysalises did not make it. That guy is dead up there, unfortunately. And if you can see that one, nothing ever happened with him. So I'm sad about that, but that's Mother Nature. And, you know, come after our winter, our winters are very mild, but we do get freezing. I'll cut this milkweed back down and let this grow beautiful. And I'll be welcoming the new caterpillars and the new monarch butterflies for the next season. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and try to stay stress-free and spend time with your family and your loved ones, and have a really great holiday, and we'll see you soon.